into Tuesday as a warm front triggers non-severe thunderstorms. Then on Wednesday, a low pressure system and its cold front approach, that does bring a marginal risk for large hail and damaging winds across much of the area. So quiet into this evening, increasing cloud cover. Through the overnight hours, we'll see rain with some rumbles of thunder moving west to east. Some of that lingering on the backside of the system in the afternoon hours. Late afternoon and evening, generally quieting down, maybe a stray rumble of thunder still popping up, but widespread rain does return from the west going into Wednesday. FlyCRW forecast, it starts at home. Some areas of showers and storms to plan for if you're traveling in the next couple days. Seasonally cool in Chicago and New York. Panhandle to Panhandle forecast. Up until 7 p.m. Wednesday, we will see about 1 inch to 3/4 of an inch. So some good moisture on the way. Temperatures in the low to mid 50s tonight, then topping off in the low to mid 70s on Tuesday. Most of the rain accumulating the coming days will fall in the Wednesday time frame. Some of this after 7 p.m. So the ½ inch that you see in many of these areas, we will add to that after 7 p.m. Wednesday. Not seeing as much rain reaching to the east here tonight. Mid 40s and then topping off at mid 60s to Papa's 72 on Tuesday. As you go west, closer to that 1 inch mark for Winfield, bottoming out for 47 in Elkins to Ripley's 53, and then a spread of 77 there to 70 on Tuesday. Huntington representing the wettest conditions. Best opportunity for more than 1 inch, especially considering that's the best area for more than 1/4 of an inch in tonight's round. But as mentioned, most of that moisture will be received as a state for the Wednesday opportunity of rain. After that, consistently cooler and quieter.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
Five, 3,
Red 57! Red 57! Hot, hot!
I don't believe what I just saw!
Bill McKenzie hits a 38-yard field goal on the final play of the football game.
5 seconds left in the game. Do you believe in miracles? Yes!
It is a great night to be a Mountaineer wherever you may be.
From the home of the state's land-grant institution, inside the Health Plan Studios, in the Dale B. Miller Building in Morgantown, it's time for the state's most listened-to sports talk show. This is the CityNet Statewide Sportsline. CityNet, cybersecurity experts for the digital age. And now, across the state of West Virginia and beyond, Sportsline is on the air.
And a very special good evening. We've got a special show for you tonight. We are live at PNC Park in Pittsburgh, where in about a half an hour, former Mountaineers J.J. Wetherholt and Victor Scott will take the field. Well, Vic's not in the lineup tonight, but J.J. Wetherholt will lead this game off as the leadoff hitter for the St. Louis Cardinals. And we've been here all afternoon. I'm Kyle Wiggs, by the way. Brad Howe is here. Greg Hunter is here. We've shifted pretty much the entire operation up here to Pittsburgh, and so far, guys, it's been a lot of fun.
Oh, it's been a great afternoon. Opportunity to speak with those two former Mountaineers and now get to watch them in action in a little bit. So certainly, you were the one who came up with this idea. I certainly congratulate you for that.
Kyle, to be applauded. This just really is a fun day just to see JJ again, who looks the exact same, sounds the exact same, is as friendly as he ever was in that Cardinals dugout. So it was neat to see him. Victor Scott as well. Spent some time catching up with him, and then we got a chance to see Steve Sabins down on the field during batting practice as he was up to greet both of the guys. So fun night so far here at PNC.
Well, we do have to give special thanks to the Pittsburgh Pirates. They're the ones that really allowed this to happen, and Mark Garda, who is the broadcast manager for the franchise. He runs the radio network, and he really facilitated this for us, and it's just a lot of fun. And there's two former Mountaineer players currently in the major leagues, and both are with the Cardinals. Victor Scott, veteran now of about 2+ seasons, and of course J.J. Wetherholt as a rookie has really made an impact on this Cardinal team, as Wetherholt hit a home run on Sunday. That was his 5th home run of the year. He's driven in 13. Now the batting average is at 238, but he's getting on base at a very, very significant clip.
Yeah, he's definitely had an impact here for these Cardinals. And if you start to dive in, and we'll do this a little bit later or maybe tomorrow night, I got lost for about an hour today, Kyle, in some of the advanced analytics for JJ. And baseball's great because you can really get deep down into the weeds and get into barrel rate and swing and miss and swing contact and all of these different metrics. And if you look at those and you go deep and you stack it up, even though the average isn't where JJ is going to be in a couple of years, all of those other metrics project him into the upper third, not only of rookies, but Major League Baseball hitters. So he's well on his way to the career that we thought he would have.
The amazing thing about what he's done so far, in my mind, of course, I'm the Cardinals guy, so I watch literally every pitch of every game. If I don't watch it live, I watch it on video the next day. But defensively, he's in the top 10%, not only at his position, but in Major League Baseball. And that of course, it's not a surprise to him. He expected that. But he's done a phenomenal job. We asked him a few questions about that, and we also asked Cardinals manager Oliver Marmol about that, the fact that he's made such an impact defensively, and his mates on the infield. Mason Wynn's the Cardinals shortstop, and he won the Gold Glove at shortstop last year. And I think a lot of that comes with that partnership. That chemistry has developed almost immediately, and again, that gives you an indication of JJ's work ethic as he's out with Mason Wynn. He's out with Stubby Clapp, who coaches the infielders defensively, but it's incredible what he's done with his gloves so far.
Yeah, he certainly has played well, justified everything that's happened so far. Big media contingent here. Now remember, he's not only a West Virginia,
right, he's Pittsburgh,
but he's a Mars, Pennsylvania guy, so grew up right outside of Pittsburgh and had a lot of media people here from Pittsburgh and those of us from West Virginia as well interviewing him before the game. So a great opportunity for his homecoming. And it's been almost 2 years since last saw him in a Mountaineer uniform and saw him in person. But we all commented, he looks bigger now. I mean, good bigger. It looks like, he's certainly
put some muscle on
as he's gone through. And, he's always had great power, but that muscle, I'm sure, will only help him as he goes further.
Well, Kyle and I went down during batting practice, so we were just outside the cage when he was hitting, and the ball is certainly jumping off his bat. Looks like a major leaguer when he's in there taking batting practice. You know who else should be thankful is the Cardinals team store. As I look down here, there you can tell where the Mountaineer fan group has gathered.
Tell
in fact,
where his family is.
Former Mountaineer is down here. Cade is down here walking around, but there are a ton of Wetherholt jerseys in the crowd, custom made. Those are the nice light blue ones, Kyle.
Yeah.
I see some white sprinkled in there, but the light blue Wetherholt jerseys are prevalent here at PNC.
So what we plan on doing is, Greg mentioned there was a media scrum. So there was, 12 to 15 media members. Yep. Of course, a lot of us came up from Morgantown. The Pittsburgh media is here because it's a homecoming for J.J. Wetherholt. Both of the TV sideline reporters for both the Pirates and the Cardinals were involved. So we didn't necessarily get J.J. one-on-one in terms of an interview or one-on-three, but we did mic up the scrum. So we'll hear from J.J. Same situation with Victor Scott. He met the media, and again, we've got some comments from Oliver Marmol. His manager's office was open good two and a half hours before the game, and there were a lot of reporters in there as well. So we'll get to all of that. But, Greg, we also have some football news today.
Yeah, certainly. It's a day, so there's got to be a commitment, right? And it continues to happen for West Virginia. 8 now commitments? And these are guys for the class of 2027. So these are players that are just finishing their junior years in high school at the moment. And West Virginia added they call him an athlete. He's originally from Pittsburgh, Penn Hills High School, in Carter Bonner, 6'2", 190. Now he's transferring to St. Francis Academy in Baltimore, Maryland, which is a powerhouse. I think they were number 2 in the country this past year, and they've produced a ton of high-level players over time. But Carter Bonner, like I said, played wide receiver and defensive back at Penn Hills. A lot of people view him as a corner. At the college ranks, he's the first defensive back, if that's where he ultimately ends up so far in this class. But West Virginia now really well underway in the class of 2027.
All right, so that's the football news for today. But we're here to talk baseball. We're going to take a break. We'll come back. We'll hear from Victor Scott as he met the media here for 5 or 6 minutes, and we'll play that back in its entirety. And then a little bit of a longer segment, as you would imagine, with J.J. Wetherholt, because, again, the Pittsburgh media involved both of the Cardinals and the Pirates TV networks, and, of course, the reporters that came up from Morgantown and WVU as well. So we will hear all of that as we move along. The CityNet statewide sports line coming to you live from PNC Park, where the Cardinals and the Pirates are scheduled to play in just a couple of minutes. You've heard the buzz about CityNet Fiber expanding across West Virginia. Now you can check your address, choose the plan that fits your needs, and even pick your preferred installation window. Visit citynet.net. Remember, CityNet connects, protects, and perfects. We're back with more from PNC Park in Pittsburgh coming up after this.
Worried about paying for college? MetroNews is proud to present the 19th annual West Virginia Scholar Program, where one high school junior in West Virginia will win a full scholarship to West Virginia Wesleyan College, including room, board, tuition, and fees. For details, go to wvmetronews.com and click the Apply Now button. Deadline is May 3rd. The 2026 West Virginia Scholar Program, presented by Greer Industries and the West Virginia Hospital Association. Go to wvmetronews.com and apply today by May 3rd.
We are there for you, to care for you at the health plan. We are here for you.
For over 4 decades, we've been rooted deep inside West Virginia. Through thick and thin, supporting local families and businesses. Proudly serving your neighborhood since 1979. Your trusted partner in the community.
The health plan. We are here for you.
Live from the Health Plan Studios, the CityNet statewide sports line returns in 2 minutes on MetroNews, the voice of West Virginia.
Sunshine, open roads, and a new Toyota from Dan Cava Toyota World. Lease an all-new Camry for as low as $398 a month. All new Tundras now up to $8,000 off. All new Tacomas now up to $4,500 off, or lease as low as $399 a month. $7,500 off the new BZ or 0% financing for 72 months. We've got a Toyota for you at Dan Cava Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world.
You know CityNet is West Virginia's leading technology company. Whether we're managing IT infrastructures, protecting the critical data and networks of our region's businesses, or providing fiber broadband, TV, and phone services, we are your go-to experts. We're also a strong partner in the communities in which we serve. CityNet, your trusted technology partner. Learn more about us, visit citynet.net.
Looking for a show that talks about everything? You found it.
By the way, I'm really happy to talk about this as opposed to Ryan's opinion that being a sports fan is a bad thing.
He said that it kept him from being stressed about it, not that it was a bad thing. They didn't have the stress. And, I mean, I've seen you pace.
Yeah, you're only 30 and you look like that.
So true. So
Join Dave Weekly and Coop weekdays for Hotline on MetroNews Television.
We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you. We've got it down to a science, an absolute state of art. We do it all, restoration, cleaning, and reconstruction. When disaster strikes, just pick up the phone. We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you.
CityNet statewide sports line, special edition live from PNC Park in Pittsburgh, where in just a few minutes the Pirates will take on the St. Louis Cardinals. Kyle Wiggs, Brad Howe, Greg Hunter. We've been in Pittsburgh for the afternoon and catching up with a couple of former Mountaineer players on this St. Louis roster. We're going to hear from Victor Scott, but guys, it's amazing you talk about J.J. Wetherholt, a fast riser. He was drafted just 2 years ago. You can say the same about Victor Scott.
It's really remarkable how fast he got up to the big leagues. He was just playing for West Virginia, 4 seasons ago, and here he is in the pros, and he's in his second full-time year with the big club at the Cardinals. So you're right, both of those guys elevated through that minor league system extremely fast.
Well, when you have Victor Scott's speed, right?
True.
Right.
And Kyle, you see him defensively and on the bases. That gets you a really quick look.
Vic played 53 games as a rookie in 2024, was the primary starter last year, 138 games, had 400 at-bats, and ended up with 34 stolen bases last year. So Victor Scott, he talked about his time. He was asked about his time at West Virginia and what type of experience it was for him. An Atlanta, Georgia native, and a little bit later on in the interview, he explains how he ended up at West Virginia. But Victor Scott's time at WVU, something he certainly enjoyed.
I feel like a really good one. I mean, I learned a lot. I got the opportunity to go play and learn and experience and learn for some really great coaches. Randy Mazey taught me a lot. Coach Sabins, I mean, he's high energy. He taught me a lot as well. Mark Ginther, I mean, I could go down the whole list of coaches. Jacob Garcia, I mean, all those guys were a part of my development in college, and I still keep up with those guys to this day.
Describe the relationship between you and JJ in college.
I feel like it was a really good one, man. He's an awesome kid. He's an awesome kid, or man now, but he's a really good dude. But I feel like in college he was just a young guy. He didn't really speak up as much. And then as he started growing and developing and becoming kind of who he is now, you could kind of see that personality coming out and that smile come around. So, I mean, that was something that was really cool for me to see just as he was getting in as a freshman, and then kind of like throughout the rest of that year, he started to really blossom into a really high-energy kid.
With the Cardinals now, JJ's talked about the impact you've had on him. How do you both elevate each other's games?
Yeah, I mean, from my standpoint, looking at him and how he's been going about his business, his preparation and his work is always something that I admire. The way he goes about his business, the way he has conversations, the way he talks about his pregame plan. I mean, this is as pro as you get. So I can't do anything but admire him and kind of take some things away from him as he's going about this big league step.
Was there a moment for you when you realized you had a chance to be this good? Was it in college? Was it in minor leagues? When did you think you could get to this level?
Probably in the minor leagues in 23. I thought I would have a good chance. But, I mean, it's always been a dream of mine to be here. So this is something I take a lot of pride in and definitely acknowledge each step.
Was it Sabins that recruited you?
Yeah.
So can you recount that in a nutshell, how that happened?
Yeah, so I was kind of like the last kid to get recruited in the recruiting class. I remember he called me and said, like, hey, man, like, we would love to have you at the school. Our center fielder, he's a junior this year, so he has a chance to get drafted. So I was like, okay, it was Brandon White. He got drafted to the Angels. And I remember him saying, like, hey, we also offered another center fielder from North Carolina. But if he accepts the offer before you do, then he's going to be our center fielder. And I remember I hung up that phone, and my mom got home that day. It was like 4 o'clock. And I was like, Mom, Dad, I think I'm about to do it. I don't really have that many options. It's kind of on the clock. And, I mean, this is something that I want to do. So ended up calling Coach Sabins back that next morning. And I was like, all right, Coach, I'm ready to go. So that was kind of my story.
I know you didn't grow up here, but you went to college pretty close to here. And I know you played here for a few years. Is it a little extra special when you come into town here?
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, I have a lot of family that's here. My dad, he went to Allegheny High School, so he has a lot of roots here. And every time I come here, I feel like it's a new uncle or a new cousin that's coming to the game that I got to come outside and say hey to. But I mean, all that's really, it's really cool for me, especially my dad, him being from here and to be able to kind of represent my family in that way. So, yeah.
Vic, the majority of the 1 year that you guys overlapped at WVU, you all were hitting back-to-back in the lineup. Now when the lineup turns over, you guys are back-to-back again. You all talk about that at all? Reminisce about that at all?
Yeah, definitely. We talk about it a lot. I mean, JJ's brought it up before, saying he was hitting 2-hole and I was hitting 3-hole. And as much fun as he was having, kind of watching us just run around the bases or him hitting home runs, I had a lot of fun watching him do that. But I mean, we just always talk about how much fun it was while we were fishing or while we were doing Bible study, things like that. We always just kind of reminisce.
How are you different today than a couple years ago when you made your debut at this level?
I'd say I'm more mature. I understand the game a little bit more than what I did then, and I have a little bit more fun playing the game. I think I enjoy the little moments in it, the preparation aspect and controlling things that I can control. I understand that aspect a little bit more now, and have a little bit more fun kind of going about my business now.
With pride you take in your defense?
A lot. Yeah. My defense and speed, that's my main things, man. So as much as I work on hitting, I also work on defense and speed as well.
Both you and JJ's translated great defensive play at college level to now here at the major league level. What's been the toughest part, or what's the part you work at the most when it comes to your defense?
Definitely routes and getting just the better jumps. I mean, that's really important for making outs and just kind of being all over the place, and definitely communication as well. That means a lot. So just understanding that you got to let your outfielders know where you are, who's taking what route, all that stuff is important.
What has JJ's impact on the Cardinals been like in terms of his personality and his play?
Personality-wise, I think everybody loves him. It's kind of hard not to love that guy. He's a very infectious kid to be around. I mean, he's just an awesome dude. As a play, I mean, he's been stellar on defense. He's been doing some stuff I've kind of seen him do at West Virginia with the home runs. Man, it's pretty special. But I actually told Fermin the other day he hit a homer, and I was like, yeah, that's what I was seeing at West Virginia, man. So I'm definitely glad he's getting comfortable and being able to release that barrel like he's always done.
Has it been kind of a big brother, little brother relationship? You've shown him the ropes a little bit since you've been here for a year.
Yeah. I try to show him some things, but I mean, shoot, he shows me stuff too, man. So I wouldn't say like big brother, little brother. I think we're just pretty good friends. So we show each other some stuff. I mean, he's got a really cool hit ability, so I try to take as much stuff as I can away from that and try to admire his work in that aspect. So definitely not, I wouldn't say big brother, little brother, but pretty good friends.
Victor Scott II there, his pregame thoughts prior to this contest tonight. Pretty good friends and now teammates in the big leagues. How about that? Hitting back-to-back in the order just a few years ago with the Mountaineers, and now when Vic's in the lineup, generally hits ninth with JJ, the leadoff hitter. So they're back-to-back again.
Yeah, what an opportunity for both of them, right? Playing at the major league level.
Pretty amazing, too, guys. What great ambassadors for West Virginia University in this baseball program. Those are as two well-spoken guys as you're going to find. And in talking to the Cardinals PR guy, I mentioned that to him. I said, hey, you got a couple good ones right here. And he commented, and he's right. He said, we didn't have to do anything. They were like this when they arrived. And I said, well, we're aware. Those are two of the best. So great ambassadors for WVU as well.
Ready-made as players and as people to move to the big leagues. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we got our microphone in the middle of the J.J. Wetherholt media scrum as well, and we'll talk about that. The Health Plan Studios, it's moved north to Pittsburgh for the night. We're at PNC Park. This is the CityNet statewide Sportsline. We'll have more coming up right after this.
We are there for you, to care for you at the Health Plan. We are here for you.
For over 4 decades, we've been rooted deep inside West Virginia. Through thick and thin, supporting local families and businesses. Proudly serving your neighborhood since 1979. Your trusted partner in the community.
The Health Plan. We are here for you.
Some relationships just work better with trust, reliability, and great communication. That's why more West Virginians are choosing CityNet Gig Fiber. Fast, symmetrical speeds, no contracts, no data caps, and local teams monitoring the network around the clock. Plus, for a limited time, new residential customers can get 50% off any internet plan for a full year, with plans starting as low as $25 a month. Check availability at your address. Visit citynet.net today. CityNet connects, protects, and perfects.
Live from the Health Plan Studios, the CityNet statewide Sportsline returns in 2 minutes on MetroNews, the voice of West Virginia.
Today's Metro News television forecast is brought to you by Lou Wendell Marine Sales. We sell family fun.
Hi there. We'll see some showers and thunderstorms tonight through Wednesday night. After that, entering a stretch with below average temperatures and drier air later part of the week through the weekend. But first, some warmth and moisture going into Tuesday as a warm front triggers non-severe thunderstorms. Then on Wednesday, a low pressure system and its cold front approach. That does bring a marginal risk for large hail and damaging winds across much of the area. So quiet into this evening, increasing cloud cover. Through the overnight hours, we'll see rain with some rumbles of thunder moving west to east. Some of that lingering on the backside of the system in the afternoon hours. Late afternoon and evening, generally quieting down, maybe a stray rumble of thunder still popping up, but widespread rain does return from the west going into Wednesday. FlyCRW forecast, it starts at home. Some areas of showers and storms to plan for if you're traveling in the next couple days. Seasonally cool in Chicago and New York. Panhandle to Panhandle forecast. Up until 7 p.m. Wednesday, we will see about 1 inch to 3/4 of an inch. So some good moisture on the way. Temperatures in the low to mid 50s tonight, then topping off in the low to mid 70s on Tuesday. Most of the rain accumulating the coming days will fall in the Wednesday time frame. Some of this after 7 p.m. So the ½ inch that you see in many of these areas, we will add to that after 7 p.m. Wednesday. Not seeing as much rain reaching to the east here tonight, mid 40s, and then topping off at mid 60s to Papa's 72 on Tuesday. As you go west, closer to that 1 inch mark for Winfield, bottoming out for 47 in Elkins to Ripley's 53, and then a spread of 77 there to 70 on Tuesday. Huntington representing the wettest conditions. Best opportunity for more than 1 inch, especially considering that's the best area for more than 1/4 of an inch in tonight's round. But as mentioned, most of that moisture will be received as a state for the Wednesday opportunity of rain. After that, consistently cooler and quieter.
Sitting at Statewide Sportsline, we're live in Pittsburgh. The Health Net studio has moved for the night to PNC Park, where in just a few minutes the Cardinals will take on the Pittsburgh Pirates. J.J. Wetherholt in the lineup. He'll lead off for the Cardinals here in just a couple of moments. Again, a big media scrum. You're going to hear a lot of voices, maybe some familiar. Greg Hunter was down there in the middle of the scrum. Greg Carey of WVMetroNews.com, both of the sideline reporters. Hannah Mears for the Pirates Network and Danny Wexelman for the Cardinals TV Network. They were involved in this. But J.J. Wetherholt meeting the media and talking about how cool it is for him to have this homecoming in a couple of different ways. The WVU fans here and, of course, his family and friends from Mars, Pennsylvania.
Yeah, it'll be super cool. I mean, just kind of people text me and tell me that they're going to be here. And, I've played here before, but never in a stage like this. So it'll just be super cool. And, spending time with my family, it's been great so far. And just hopefully we can get some wins, play good baseball, and enjoy the trip.
Yeah, you've been here before, but what stands out about the park? It's beautiful. It's so unique.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I feel like it's just how many games I've watched here. So it's like I know this park better than any other park. Being here as a kid and playing a little bit in college, which was super cool, getting that opportunity. But yeah, I mean, the backdrop of just the city that you grew up in and being able to play in a major league ballpark like that is it's special.
And what makes you most proud to be from Mars?
I think just really the people in that area, they work hard, just super passionate for their kids and their sports, and just really gave me a great childhood. And so there's so many people who were involved in the journey, and that's what I'd say I'm most proud of.
JJ, your parents and your coaches at Mars say that so many eyes are going to be on you today and this week. Your feeling on having that attention from the people from back home?
It's sweet. I mean, honestly, I get a lot of texts of a lot of people that'll try to keep up to me, regardless of where we're playing at. And, I'll get random texts from buddies, be like, hey, nice swing today, or, and so, yeah, I mean, there's going to be more here today, but just kind of treat it another game. Just excited for the opportunity, excited for them to be able to watch.
Your father says that he brought you here a lot as a kid, cheering for the Pirates. Now you're division rival.
Yeah, it's crazy. That's what I was telling people here, like asking me about what goes on in the city. I was like, to be honest, we only ever came here to go to the games, so spent a lot of time here as a kid.
JJ, you had talked to me at spring training saying looking across and seeing the black and gold in Bradenton brought back a lot of memories. So looking across and seeing black and gold in PNC Park, what kind of memories pop up in your head?
Yeah, it's crazy. It's kind of a goofy experience, but it's just such an honor to be here. And, playing against a team that you grew up cheering for will always kind of hold a special place in your heart, and just excited for it.
Does it relax you a little bit having played here before in college and things like that?
Yeah, I'm 3-0 here, so got to keep it going. So, just a little bit of experience. I mean, this was the first ever big league park that I played in, so it was really, really cool. And, excited to be back.
JJ, what's your favorite memories here? Is there any in particular?
I had a birthday party here where they put my name up on the scoreboard, so I remember that. And it was actually pretty funny because we couldn't find parking, so my buddy's dad, who was taking us here, tried to park at the casino, and they wouldn't let us walk through because we were like 10 years old. So then we had to get through, and I was late to my birthday party, basically, and was able to see my name on the scoreboard.
How old were you? Do you remember?
Probably like 8 or 9, to be honest.
JJ, even before you took your first major league at bat, there was talk that you're one of the front runners for NL Rookie of the Year. Has it been easy for you to drown that noise out?
Yeah, I mean, I've saw that. I mean, you kind of see all that type of stuff regardless if it's in big leagues, college, or minor league ball. And, of course, the stage can be a little bit different, but you kind of just try to focus on becoming a better player and winning games for your team. And so that's been my focus mainly, and just kind of drown that out.
You said your family, you were hoping they were all tuned in back home in that spring training game, but how many people are you anticipating filling the stands for you today?
Whew, yeah, it'll be a good bit. I mean, I think there's going to be some people here just because they all grew up Pirates fans and they're here for the Pirates, and of course me being here will help. But a lot of my friends come to these games all the time, so didn't actually get a lot of texts for tickets. They're just kind of happy to buy their own. And from my family, I got a pretty small family, but they'll be here, and then just my whole college team will be here, and high school team might come another day. It's going to be a bunch in and out.
Is Mrs. Inglesby going to be here?
I would think so. I'm not positive, to be honest, but that'd be pretty cool. A lot of the teachers came, so we had a David Bednar who went to the same high school as me, who played here. When they would come, they would get like a whole section out, and I mean, I remember the one time I was here in college, I walked down, it was like there was my superintendent, principal, this teacher, and that teacher. So hopefully I get that treatment too.
What was it like this past weekend when you saw Cole Young playing against you?
That was sweet. I mean, yeah, that's such a cool story. I did my first ever pro workout with Cole, and back then, I mean, he was so good, and I was so not good. And I was scrappy, but just didn't have the pro tools. And so for us to be able to kind of work out together, and I said it too, every single time when I was a kid, like I'd go in with my dad, he was already in there with his dad. So that was just how we were. We were hit next to each other, and just super excited to see him play well. He's such a good player, and that was kind of a full circle moment too. I was like, dang, man, I used to hit with you when I was 13 in the cage, and here we are on the big stage.
JJ, how did you go from not getting drafted out of high school all the way to the top 10 in those 3 years at WVU? What changed for you?
Yeah, I mean, I had a really breakout year my sophomore year. I think it was just kind of the development that I got there and just getting better and learning more and all the resources that they had to help me grow. A lot of it was from a physical standpoint, just got a lot stronger and got some more tools. But yeah, it's kind of, I needed to go to college, and so it was great for me, and I just really developed there and was able to build a career out of it.
What's it like being on the field with a guy who was drafted right behind you in Connor Griffin?
Oh, it's great. I mean, that guy he's such a stud. It's crazy to think. I mean, he just turned 20 and he's already in the big leagues. It's crazy. So, I was able to play with him at the Futures game, talk to him a lot. Just such a good kid, so passionate about the game. Just so excited to learn and get better. So, I mean, I've been keeping up with him, just making sure, seeing how he's doing and all that. And so, definitely excited to play against him.
How's this first year been for you?
It's been a ton of fun. Just, trying to take it all in, be appreciative of the new ballparks that we play at, and, kind of the big league treatment, and just, see how awesome it is. And, I mean, I always say our kitchen back home in St. Louis, I just love eating the food there. And just things like that have been super cool to keep it loose. And then, of course, on the field, just continuing to try to take better at-bats, get more comfortable out there, learn, and just grow. Take it day by day and just continue to get better.
What impact did Coach Sabins have on you?
A ton, yeah. I mean, he was the guy who recruited me, so it's kind of a cool story. Like, I was, sophomore in high school, maybe, something like that, and he came all the way to Alderson Broaddus, which is a little D2 school in West Virginia. I ended up showing up late to the game because my mom thought it got rained out. It did not, so he came all the way there to watch me and showed up late, so I got in late, but played a good game in front of him, and then he's the one who offered me, so it was really cool. I mean, that guy's been so helpful in my career, and he's really building a great program over there, and it'll be cool to see him today.
Who were your favorite Pirates players growing up?
Kutch was by far my favorite. I love Kutch. I love Neil Walker too. Pedro Alvarez, like really just all of those guys. Caught the end, kind of Marte too. So it's tough. I mean, grew up watching all those guys, loved them, and I would just say Kutch was a big one.
How does the day-to-day grind in the majors compare to the day-to-day grind in minor leagues?
It's just more traveling, really. Like, it's shorter trips, and I think sometimes, when you're on the plane in AAA, the next day is an off day, so it's kind of like your brain's turned off, but in the big leagues, it's like, oh, I got to get ready to go tomorrow. So that's probably the biggest adjustment. Obviously, travel's better because in charter planes, you don't have to go through the regular airports, but just the frequency of the traveling is a lot.
Can you compare the excitement level of playing here for the first time as a pro player versus first time playing here a few years ago with WVU?
Yeah, I mean, it's shoot, I was really riled up to play that game my first year, so I don't it's crazy. The emotions will be high for that one and for this one, of course. I mean, this one's a little bit different just because the stands will be more packed and more family and stuff like that, and it's obviously the big leagues, but man, I was hyped up for that game too. So
crossover with Victor Scott, what's it like having a fellow Mountaineer on the team?
Oh, it's great. I mean, yeah, played 1 year with him at school, so was able to get comfortable and build a relationship there, and just have continued to build on that here. So it's been great. I mean, it's another. I keep talking about the full circle moments, but that's one too. I mean, he was telling me, he's like, man, if you would have told me that me and you be in the big leagues sharing a field when we were freshmen in college, I mean, I would have told you probably not. But it's cool to see that, and just what a great guy.
JJ, the birthday party you had here, was that your idea? Were you that big of a fan at that time?
That was my parents. They booked that one for me. I honestly don't remember all of it, but I just remember my buddy texted me. He's like, dude, I think that game we went to was versus the Cardinals. I could be wrong, though. I was like, oh, that'd be pretty cool if it was.
JJ, defensively, kind of talk about your evolution there. And obviously it started in the spring, but handling second base as well as you have.
Yeah, it's been a ton of fun just working each and every day. Ton of people have helped me, I mean, all throughout the organization, and then now just working with Stubby constantly. Kind of go back in there every game to just look at positioning, things I could have done better, things I did good, and just trying to learn as much as possible from him. And, of course, you have a guy like Mason at shortstop who can kind of take you under your wing, and Ramon Urias, who's been huge, too, to help me. So it's just been so many guys helping pour into me, and just continuing to go out and work each and every day and just trying to get better.
A guy like Mason defensively, obviously he wins the Gold Glove, and his exuberance seems to be, kind of contagious on this team.
For sure, yeah. He brings so much energy. I mean, that's what I always say. Sometimes he gets more hype for me when I make a good play than I do myself, I think. So he's always firing me up, keeping me in check, talking to me, whether it's about making sure I'm paying attention to the sun, lining up, who's got the bag, just things like that, just keeping me in check and making my job easier.
What from your time at WVU has maybe most simply translated to your time here with the Cardinals and pro baseball?
I think really just dealing with busy schedules. I mean, it's as simple as that sounds. Like at school, it was hectic. I mean, we did a ton of work, lifting early, going to class, things like that, and it's a grind, and it just amplifies when you get to the big leagues. But kind of that maturity that I built there has what's helped me so far.
J.J. Wetherholt, his Pittsburgh debut, and that interview took place in the dugout about 3 hours ago, and obviously a big homecoming for him, and it was a lot of fun for those of us who watched him and covered him in Morgantown his 3 years at WVU to see where he is now in the major leagues, and he's going to lead off this game here in just a minute or so.
Yeah, we're just a minute away from seeing him live and in action here at PNC, and that's it. What a special moment for West Virginia University, for the Wetherholt family, for all of us who watched him throughout his career. Brad, this is fun.
It's just awesome, isn't it? And what do they always say, Kyle? How can you not be romantic about baseball? This is the example of that as we're getting ready to watch JJ climb in the box. It also speaks as if we needed more evidence of the backyard brawl. JJ wasn't quite sure which he was more hyped for, this or the brawl. Yeah. That tells you what that game means.
Well, one of the first things out of his mouth was, hey, I'm 3-0 here, which means West Virginia beat Pitt 3 times when he was on the team. And it really is amazing. Of course, we're in Pittsburgh's home ballpark, and we haven't mentioned yet either Connor Griffith or Paul Skeens. And J.J. Wetherholt and Connor Griffin were selected in the first round of the same draft, 2024. Now, I don't want to violate any Major League Baseball rules about doing play-by-play of a contest, but we can tell you that J.J. is at the plate. And it's a bullpen game tonight. Braxton Ashcraft is missing his start for the Pirates, so they're starting Mason Montgomery, and it's expected to be a bullpen game for the Pirates. And the count's 1-1, and J.J. Wetherholt with some incredible highlights in his career so far. It's been a short Major League career, but he hit a home run on opening day for the Cardinals, and then the very next day he won the game with an extra innings base hit. And unfortunately, he's going to be retired here in his first career Major League plate appearance at PNC Park as he pops out to deep second base, the second baseman out on the outfield grass to make the catch. So J.J. retired here in his debut at PNC Park.
Well, just missed one. As high as he hit that ball, you could tell. If that's a little bit lower on the barrel, we might see a different result, and we know he's going to get a few more at-bats coming up this evening.
Right. But a few moments here about the Pirates, and again, it's a situation where Paul Skeens, this is year 2. He wins the Cy Young Award last year, and they've kind of invested in the offense around him. You get Connor Griffin, who was unanimously considered the top prospect in baseball. He gets to the big leagues as a 19-year-old and actually hit a home run on his 20th birthday last week. So some things are going in a positive direction for the Pirates, which you can't always say.
No, you can't. Well, you can't say for the last 20 years probably, maybe longer than that, to be quite honest with you. And to be brutally honest, I don't know if the fans have caught up with the fact that that Pittsburgh is much better this year than they typically have been. It's sparse crowd. If not for the Wetherholt contingent, I don't know what there'd be here.
Yeah, there's a large contingent. Of course, I've come up here for years watching the Cardinals when they play in Pittsburgh, and St. Louis always has a large contingent of fans here in Pittsburgh. And, of course, Jed Jerko played for the Cardinals for 3.5 years, and it was always a lot of fun when he came to town, as the Cardinals are retired 1-2-3 in the top half of the first. So far, so good for the Pirates in their bullpen game. Mason Montgomery retires the Cardinals in order.
This setting remains just one of the best in sports, doesn't it? It's just a beautiful park. They do such a great job with it. Then the lookout over the downtown skyline. It is a great park, and what a beautiful night for this game to take place. Kyle, going back to Skeens for a second, we were down on the field for batting practice, as I mentioned, and Skeens was standing right next to us. Whatever they list him at might not be big enough, Greg. I mean, that is a big dude with massive hands. It's not a surprise to see where he generates his power and why he throws so hard. And also a friend of the WVU baseball program, as he's been down to the Performance Center during this past offseason, where he was working in there on his mechanics into that facility, which, as we've talked before on this show, shows you how great that facility is, that the reigning Cy Young Award winner comes down to use the WVU facility to work in his off-season time.
Power forward. Does he want to come down and play college basketball?
He probably could take you on the block. Yeah, he could take you down there.
West Virginia could use some people.
No question. Well, JJ's taking his spot at second base. Dustin May is the Cardinal starter tonight. He'll work to the Pirates. We've got a few more minutes left in our program, and we'll take our final break. We'll return. We got some comments with Cardinals manager Oliver Marmol. And again, it was in an office. The media was kind of spread out there. It's going to be a little bit difficult maybe to hear the questions, but he was asked about JJ and asked about Victor Scott. Vic not in the lineup tonight. He's been scuffling a little bit. The Cardinals are really working hard with his mechanics offensively. Got off to a phenomenal start. The first week of the season, he was hitting about 350, but he's cooled off a little bit. And, again, a guy who can be an electrifying base runner, but you got to get on base, right? I think he had somewhere in the neighborhood of 35, 37 stolen bases a year ago, but has just really kind of been scuffling this year offensively. And obviously the Cardinals hope he gets it going very, very soon. The Health Plan Studios, we've moved it to PNC Park for the night. This is the CityNet statewide sports line, and we will return with more coming up right after this.
If sinus and allergy discomfort are impacting your daily routine, the experts at the WVU Medicine Sinus and Allergy Center can help you find relief. Our team of ear, nose, and throat specialists work together to help you breathe easier. With exceptional care for sinus and allergy issues, we provide adults and children with the most advanced ENT care available in West Virginia. Call 855-WVU-CARE or visit wvumedicine.org/ENT.
Boating season is almost here, and there's no better place to start your family's adventure than Lou Wendell Marine Sales. Family owned for over 40 years, Lou and his sons are West Virginia's largest Avalon pontoon dealer and true experts in boats, motors, and repairs. Explore their impressive inventory and score some of the best deals of the season right now. At Lou Wendell Marine Sales, they don't just sell boats, they sell family fun. Visit LouWendellMarineSales.com and get on the water in style. After all, the weekend's almost here.
Live from the Health Plan Studios, the CityNet statewide Sportsline returns in 2 minutes on MetroNews, the voice of West Virginia.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
What do you know about hot dogs? Because we've been all about hot dogs this week.
I love hot dogs, and I love them with Miracle Whip.
Oh, God, I forgot. Never mind. I forgot
and
about
onions.
this. Okay.
I actually, yesterday morning, I had a hot dog for breakfast at 6:45 with onions and Miracle Whip.
And with that, we'll be back right after this.
Join Dave Allen weekdays for midday on Metro News Television.
You know CityNet is West Virginia's leading technology company. Whether we're managing IT infrastructures, protecting the critical data and networks of our region's businesses, or providing fiber broadband, TV, and phone services, we are your go-to experts. We're also a strong partner in the communities in which we serve. CityNet, your trusted technology partner. Learn more about us, visit citynet.net.
We are there for you, to care for you at the health plan. We are here for you.
The Health Plan proudly supports our active and healthy communities and has been your most trusted carrier for over 40 years. Log on to healthplan.org for more information.
We are there for you, to care for you at the health plan. We are here for you.
CityNet statewide Sportsline. We're live at PNC Park. The Health Plan studio moved to the press box at PNC Park for at least one night, and the Cardinals and the Pirates are scoreless. Bottom of the first, J.J. Wetherholt did flawlessly handle the chance at second base, so they got him out when he was at the plate, but he made a play on the infield. Pirates changed around their starting lineup a little bit. O'Neal Cruz, who's been a huge story early on with 8 home runs, 24 RBI, he was in the lineup leading off, but he's been scratched because of an illness.
Well, that's a disappointment. He's always one of those guys you want to be in the stadium when he's playing. He's liable to hit one in the river, throw it 900 miles an hour from center field. Now, he's also, Greg, I know, liable to misplay a fly ball as well, but, man, that guy is ultra talented and skilled. Bummed out he's not in the lineup tonight.
Before we get out of here, a couple of quick thoughts from Cardinals manager Oliver Marmol. He welcomed the media into his office prior to the start of the game, and might be a little tough to hear the questions. The media was spread out all through the room, but he did have some interesting and some very nice things to say about J.J. Wetherholt and Victor Scott. He started with J.J., the evaluation of his rookie season so far.
He's had an incredible season. I think we've talked quite a bit about his success early on, not only offensively but defensively on the bases, his overall demeanor, what he brings to the club. There's a lot of positives there, especially for as young as he is. He's gone about his short time with us as if he's been here for several years, which is cool to see. His overall understanding of the game, but also hunger for what's next is a great combination. Because he's confident in who he is as a person, as a player, but never comfortable enough not to seek what's next for him in his career. So it's been awesome to have him.
Where do you see the one area he needs to improve the most upon as he kind of
comes into his own?
There's not like one specific thing that comes to mind. Defense this offseason was an important point of emphasis. Certain aspects of his defense, his backhand, and just overall footwork. But those are things that he's going to continue to improve as the season goes on. He's had a great start to the year defensively and made some really nice plays for us, and you're starting to see him be more and more comfortable. Yeah, the more he plays, the more he's going to be able to like just be consistent with his skill set. So it's just time driven more than anything.
Has the defense surprised you at all?
Surprised? No. It's been impressive, but no, the way he goes about his work and the intentionality there, no, not surprising.
Ollie, what's it say about his makeup that, you know, he's a top 10 pick, he's a top 5 prospect coming in this year, and I mean, all eyes are on him, and people are expecting him to be a really good player and to be able to handle all those expectations and acclimate himself to the big league at the same time.
Yeah, that's why I mentioned that he knows who he is as a person, because I think that's the important piece to this whole thing. Like his identity is not in being a successful baseball player. I think he's been pretty open about his overall belief system and his faith, and he doesn't place a whole lot of emphasis on what people think about him outside of that, and it allows you to show up every day, work hard, and play with some freedom.
In Victor's situation, he got off to such a great start.
Sure.
And now it's been a little bit of a struggle. What have you seen recently from him, and what are you working with him on?
Yeah, consistency and closing the gap of what's possible for him and kind of where he's at. A lot of it has to do with mechanically the swing and then overall approach and coupling those two things. His last couple of games have been better as far as how he wants to miss, but there's a lot of work to be done there, and he's not going to shy away from that work. He's actually done a really nice job of just being head down and not trying to allow the results to impact how he shows up day to day.
There's plenty that can be learned about a guy in spring training about his work habits, right?
Sure.
But his preparation for games can only kind of reveal itself during the regular season.
Yeah.
How he reads on a guy. And where's JJ in that regard? And, you know, you have a young team when you're going into that hitters meeting, a really young team. I mean, is he contributing? Is he?
Yeah, he is
he make a strides in
contributing.
that?
Yeah, and he's prepared. That's what you're looking for when you're trying to assess and evaluate young players, like their ability to not just show up to a hitter's meeting and consume the information being kind of thrown at them, but that they are prepared enough to contribute to the meeting as well. And you can only speak in those types of meetings when you're confident in your preparation. And what our guys have done really well, and not just JJ, but across the board, is just coming in and adding value to those meetings on a daily basis. So, yeah.
Oliver Marmol there, the Cardinals manager. Some thoughts on J.J. Wetherholt and Victor Scott there. Vic scuffling a little bit, but looking to get him back on track. But, you know, J.J. has made no qualms. He's a rookie Major League Baseball player, but he's talked about his faith and really what makes him tick, and I think he's been very open about that, and that's something Oliver mentioned there as well.
You know, and he's always had that demeanor, even as a freshman at West Virginia. I mean, he was as even-keeled as anybody you'll meet for a youngster, and feels like he's the same guy right now.
That's what I thought, Greg, when we walked away from there. That was literally no different talking to him in the Cardinals dugout versus when you talked to him at Kendrick Family Ballpark or when we had him on Sportsline or Three Guys Before the Game. Just the same exact guy that he's always been. Not a difference at all in his demeanor.
What's interesting about, and I didn't mention this to him, but in speaking to Oliver Marmol back in 2015, as JJ puts away a pop fly to end the inning, Pirates did get a run in the bottom of the first. 2015, we were doing the West Virginia Black Bears games. They won the New York Penn League Championship. Oliver Marmol was the Cardinals manager at State College. How about that?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
There's a memory.
Well, you needed to bring that up to him.
Well,
there.
you know, he's in the big leagues now. So, but yeah, he was there 2 or 3 years. The first year, Wyatt Torregas was the Black Bears manager. Had come from the Pirates up here, where he was doing some quality control work, and Oliver Marmol was the manager of the State College Spikes.
Well,
back
I
in
can't
the-
believe what he's doing. I cannot believe you didn't bring that up when we were in his office. There's only 5 of us in there,
Well,
Wiggs.
That's true, but still, that was a good memory. But again, this has been fun today, guys. It's again, we have to thank the Pirates, Mark Garda, their director of broadcasting, to facilitate this for us. We're actually in the booth where the Pirates do some of their pregame and postgame work, and he opened the door for us here, and it's really been outstanding.
Well, they've been great all the way up and down, right, Kyle? I mean, we had access all the way down into the dugout, onto the field before the game. Everybody's been top-notch here in the Pirates organization. So certainly I echo those thoughts. Appreciate all of the help they've given us today.
It's been great to catch up with J.J. Wetherholt and Victor Scott, and again, Mountaineer presence here. Head coach Steve Sabins with his family. They're here. In fact, the entire team is here.
They are down on the
Nuttings
suites.
Put them up in a suite.
They did. They're in a suite. Ren Baker
Yep,
is here
his
with his family
family.
watching. He's got a good seat behind the Cardinals dugout. So big Mountaineer contingent on hand tonight to watch the 2 former WVU products go at it tonight.
Yeah, you can see where JJ's family is. They've all got the Wetherholt jerseys. Again, there's Mountaineer fans down there behind the dugout, and it's been a good night so far. The Pirates do lead the game 1-0 in the top half of the second as we leave you tonight, and we appreciate you listening and watching as always to the CityNet Statewide Sportsline. We're back in the studio tomorrow and the rest of the week. Guys, thanks.
Won't be as much fun as we had tonight, I'm sure of that.
Better view here tonight probably
Yeah.
than we have in the studio, but we'll
Absolutely.
be back tomorrow night.
Back in the studio tomorrow. Special thanks to Ethan Collins and Braden Ferrari, our producers tonight. That'll do it for the Sportsline. Thanks for listening.
From the Health Plan Studios, the CityNet Statewide Sportsline is an exclusive production of the MetroNews Radio Network. All rights reserved.